Sweet it is. I can't tell you how nice it is to be with you. Thank you for joining us in the garage. And thanks to Rossdale Homes, our sponsors and makers of beautiful, beautiful homes. The people with the fixed-term contract which only you can change. And that's a great idea. Rossdale, when trust is a must. Please give some careful thought to getting your flu needle. I'm not a doctor, I don't give medical advice, but the season has definitely started, and take it from me, who spent almost the weekend in bed. Talk to your doctor. It's kind of wonderful to be here sitting on the edge of a revolution in communication. I wasn't around in 1923 when commercial broadcasting, AM broadcasting, started in Australia, and indeed the world. But I am here at the moment when I get a message telling me that a major radio network in the United States has gone into receivership. A radio network. The world is changing before our eyes, and we here in this garage and in the dining room around the table, we are in a fantastic position to take advantage of this changing world. As much as I don't want it, and as much as you probably don't want it, terrestrial or old-fashioned AM and FM radio are in terminal decline all over the world. It's just up to us to have this replacement product. This replacement product as good as it can be and as good as you want it to be. Podcasts have now officially overtaken AM and FM radio as a more popular medium for spoken word audio in the United States. This is according to Edison Research. Radio has lost ground very quickly, and not just spoken word or talk radio. Most of the lost audience went to podcasts, and has led to a number of former great radio stations and networks choosing Chapter 11, filing for bankruptcy. Without any hubris and things like that, I'm delighted to tell you that this little dog and pony show of ours around the dining room table on a Friday and here in the garage on Tuesday and Thursday, the court of public opinion, is now among the top 5 content creators in the world, which is quite amazing. And I thank you, and of course I thank Andy Martin and everyone at the Ozcast network who put it out. Pete's here behind the camera. Gary, you will?
Congratulations.
No, it's our audience. It's nothing to do with us, really.
You pull the audience.
We are here to serve. Talks fail. War looms. A breakdown, not a breakthrough. I think we were all hoping for a breakthrough. The talks in Islamabad, as I think you know. If America doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz, Iran will continue to hold a gun at the head of the free world, and every maritime choke point, and there are many. Straits of Malacca comes to mind. They'll all become a toll gate. Every country will get in on it and restrict global trade. Pirates and bullies will rule the seas. America has to call their bluff. But will this naval blockade that he's talking about do the trick? I don't know. I don't know. The federal government will waste $20 million on advertising to tell us to drive less, more slowly. Don't load up your car. Weight will make your travelling more expensive. Check your tyre pressures. Take the roof rack off. Catch a bus. What absolute nonsense. Nonsense. They do this all the time at our expense. Let's advertise our way out of trouble. They think. Where is the cost-benefit analysis? Does any of this advertising that they do on all these crazy things, is there any check and balance on any of it? Are we getting value for money? Here's the question. Why $20 million? You know, they talk in millions the way we talk in dollars. I believe the media inflates the cost when it has the government as a client. Sorry, just saying, thinking out loud. And talking about advertising, we don't have a monopoly on stupidity. In Europe, these idiots, lefties, they're working on banning, and listen, banning the promotion of fossil fuels. Rather like the way they banned tobacco and tobacco products. But this is worse. They want to ban the advertising or promotion of all products made with or from fossil fuels. And that is just about everything. More on that weighty subject on Friday when we'll do it Thursday and then again on Friday, I reckon, when we've got more time. Leading up to the budget, I'm told that Labor is brushing aside any idea of means testing the ridiculously expensive and fraudulent NDIS. Why? Millionaires and billionaires should be able to look after themselves and their children, for God's sake. It's amazing that it was not means tested from day one. Well, we have returned to the moon. We've got this fossil fuel crisis. We've got a war-torn world, incredible stories everywhere. And on the weekend, what was the lead story here in Adelaide? Sorry, Pete. The gather round. Football. Anyway, beats me. Sorry. But speaking of the moon, mission accomplished. A textbook, million-kilometre round trip to the moon. Faultless. One wee problem with the loo. But a triumph of technology, ingenuity and planning. Not to mention courage. We can do all of that. But here on earth, we can't find a way to live in peace. Pete, what was that song? The Eve of Destruction?
Oh, yeah, Barry Maguire.
Barry Maguire. You may leave here for 4 days in space, but when you return, it's the same old place. I'll dig that out and we'll play it on Friday.
I think it was banned in USA.
Could be, but considering the year it was produced and published, it was prophetic. Or maybe nothing's changed. I'll play it for you anyway, Friday. If you haven't heard it or can't remember it. The NASA coverage of the mission was amazing. You could watch the whole thing on YouTube. High definition, full colour, beautiful pictures, crisp sound. A dramatic and successful return to Earth by these brave astronauts. A great homecoming, slowing down from a speed of 39,000 kilometres an hour, which is 34,000 feet per second, down to 25 k's at splashdown. How? Anyway, it reminded me, while I was watching all of this, it reminded me of how times have changed. Back in 1969, how primitive it all was back then. In those days, I was part of a team at Channel 10 who covered the various Apollo missions, including the 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing. The pictures we got, the quality of the transmission back then from the spacecraft, it was terrible. Terrible, but nevertheless, it was enthralling. It didn't matter. They were pictures from space. We'd never seen anything like that. That's what you call an outside broadcast. It was an exciting time. Pretty primitive, but fantastic. 12-hour shifts. There were 3 of us who covered everything. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No overtime or anything like that. No way. There was Steve Raymond. There was Dal Miles, a wonderful adventurer by the name of Len Bedell. He was the guy who did the surveyed the gun barrel highway. An adventurer. And me, yes. Little old me. I don't know what I was, 21 years old or something. Wonderful experience. The sound would come and go, the pictures would come and go. Sometimes you'd get the sound, sometimes you'd get the pictures, but most of the time you didn't get them together. But it didn't matter. We thought we were top of the pops. The audience? Well, not quite so much. As I remember walking past the phone switchboard on the way to the canteen, this thing was alive like a Christmas tree. One evening we ran with our Apollo 11 coverage rather than Hogan's Heroes and the news. And those phones went crazy. We've seen all this stuff. We're bored. It's all the same. We want Hogan's Heroes. In that 1 second, I don't know about the rest of the station, but it brought me down to earth, literally. Here we were thinking this was all fantastic and the audience wanted Hogan's Heroes. It was a good show, mind you. The Americans have a wonderful way of commercializing just about everything. So why not product placement?
Perfectly reasonable idea.
Product placement in space. It became...
Part of the mission.
Part of the mission. It became a very popular way to earn money, little extra money, when making movies.
Seems to work for James Bond.
So why not? Absolutely. Predominantly featured during the Artemis space adventure, the Apple iPhone 17...
And Nutella.
And Nutella. Promax Nikon cameras. Pete, the D5D SLR. Beautiful camera. Pete's going out for a cough. And he doesn't smoke. Get your flu needle, Pete.
Come back, Pete.
There's the jar of Nutella just floating past, just coincidentally. Most probably space contractors, by the way, Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman. And I'm not sure, the watchers, I think they were all Amiga.
I would have thought so, yes. I don't know.
Yeah. The first or earliest use of product placement is generally considered to be in the Lumiere brothers film from 1896. It was called Washing Day in Switzerland. Which featured, it's true, look it up, it featured Sunlight soap, which I think is Lever and Kitchen, from memory. Our Australian would-be astronaut, Catherine Bennell-Pegg, what a name, wow, I've got to get her as a guest on the Friday show.
Indeed.
She'd be fun. She will make the current space program. The only problem is we have got to pay $100 million to do it. Is it worth it? Tell me Friday. JeremyCordeaux.com. 0491 65 68 60. Live streaming round the dining room table. I want to talk to you on Thursday about Ben Roberts-Smith. Now, this case is where feelings run very, very high indeed. It is now before the courts, so one must be very careful not to prejudice this trial in any way, which is hopefully going to be the end, after 20 long years, the end of this saga. So join us on Thursday, okay? With the best wishes of home builder, Rosdale Homes. where trust is a must. I'm out of time. Some birthdays. It's the 14th. I'll grab my glasses. Happy birthday or happy wedding anniversary. If you're celebrating, may it be a good day. Oh, look at that. Talking about things up there. 1611, the word telescope is first used by Prince Federico Cesi. No other detail, no other information. 1611. Well, I guess you had to call it something. A telescope. This day, April 14, an auspicious day for various reasons, we'll come to them all. 1912, RMS Titanic, the world's largest and unsinkable ocean liner, hits an iceberg at 11:40 p.m. off Newfoundland and sinks in the early hours of April 15. This day, 1912. The first detective story, meaning there's never been a detective story before 1841? Golly. Edgar Allan Poe's The Murders in the Rue Morgue, 1841. 1865, a day in, I don't know, that will live in infamy. We've had a few of those, I can tell you, but this was the assassination. Well, it wasn't the assassination because he died the next day. US President Abraham Lincoln is shot in the head by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theatre in Washington. He dies a day later. Ring me on Friday if you can tell me the name of the play that Abraham Lincoln went to see at Ford's Theatre. By that time I will have looked it up. It was called, I know what it was called, I think it was called My American Cousin.
You've got to be.
I think it was.
Yeah.
My American Cousin. US Patent Office issues patent number 558393 to Dr. John Harvey Kellogg of Battle Creek, Michigan, for flaked cereal and the process of making same. Kellogg's cornflakes. The first public showing of Thomas Edison's kinescope. Moving pictures, 1894. The first space shuttle, Columbia, returns to Earth after 2 days and 6 hours in space. The year was 1981. Here's one for you, Pete. The first Pony Express rider arrives in San Francisco from St. Joe, Missouri, on this day in 1860, which is the year that the Civil War started. Now, the Pony Express, everyone knows about the Pony Express. It only lasted 18 months, and it ended on October 26, 1861. The first Volvo car, of which I have a fine example over there, is produced in Gothenburg, Sweden, 1927. Loretta Lynn, the American country singer and songwriter, coal miner's daughter, Louisiana woman, Mississippi man, born in Butcher Hollow, Kentucky, died in 2022 and was born on this day in 1932. Do you think I should leave it there? I guess. Look, thank you very much for being with us. Look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Take care of yourself. Believe in yourself. And thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion.